Hello, yeah, just doing some alterations to my system here. I've still got some work to do. I've sort of reconfigured my system so that my turntable is on the right. My rack now is on the left. I've still got my speakers there and there. Still got some cabling to be tidied up and so forth. But in this video, I particularly wanted to focus on this. That's a Heed Obelisk SI Mark II amplifier. I explained in a recent video that I was making some changes to my system. I've since sold my previous preamp and power amp, and I've switched to this now, which is an integrated amplifier. And I managed to buy this used, so this was priced at just over £300. So I was delighted to be able to obtain this wonderful amplifier then for that particular price. Also, I haven't actually fitted it, had it fitted yet, so I'm gonna get this fitted at some point. It comes with a DAC, which actually is a DAC card which sits inside the amplifier. So there's a slot there already for it. So I'm going to need to arrange to get that fitted and what have you. Not in any rush to do that, but here's the amplifier. Yeah, it goes back some time ago. I managed to listen to a lot of amplifiers and try different components and what have you. And I particularly enjoyed the sounds that the Heed was making. I am familiar with their products because going back a few years, well, a long time ago now, I needed a phono preamp, and I opted for this. This was a Heed Questa, which I had after a home demonstration. Sometime later, which was years after that, I went for a PSU for it, which is the Heed Q PSU. So that's the PSU for the Questa. That's the power supply unit for it. More recently then, my Linsonic LP12, which I have here, I had the Valhalla power supply, which was inside the turntable, which I think I must have had that power supply in use for approximately 30 years. I decided to get it changed. So looking at the variety of different sort of off-board power supplies that I could get, I eventually opted for a Heed Orbit 1 power supply. So yeah, and that Heed Orbit 1 power supply is the power supply for my Linsonic LP12, which I'm using. So yeah, you know, and all along the way, every time I've sort of added a Heed component, I've noticed the benefits. I've noticed an improvement. I've noticed a nice change to my system, which has enhanced the performance. So yeah, and obtaining this again, it's different to my previous amplifier, which was superb. The name was an excellent amplifier. It was a preamp and a power amp, and but the presentation of the Heed is slightly different, and I've become a little bit more, I guess, you know, it's down to like preference really, and what you know, having tried to listen to lots of different components, and maybe the way that I like listening to music has possibly changed, but I'm beginning to enjoy a warmer, richer sounding tonality. I'm also enjoying a little bit more depth to the sound stage, and this certainly helps, certainly leans towards that type of those types of characteristics. So I've been delighted with it. So it's only rated at 35 watts into 8 ohms, so it's not, you know what I mean, you think, well, that doesn't seem to be very powerful, but you know, my dial there is, it's not even at 10 o'clock, it's flashing there because it's on mute, but I generally have it around about there, possibly a little bit higher, 10, or just a little bit over 10 o'clock, and there's plenty of headroom. Now the reason behind that is the way this amplifier has been designed. It's a non-decoupled design amplifier, so the actual power rating appears to be a lot higher than what it actually is. And the way that the actual power delivery I'm finding is, I mean, certainly with my speakers here, which are Riga RX3s, which appear to be very, very easy to drive, the power delivery is very easy going. So if I want to increase volume, it doesn't lose that bounce. It doesn't lose that richness and that nice warmth that I like with the sound. It maintains that wonderful sound stage and imagery, and it at no point then does it become harsh or hard sounding. So yeah, excuse me. So yeah, I'm one that I like to, if I get a component, I like to have it in my system for a good few months, just to be sure I'm completely comfortable with everything. And you know, I've had this now a while, and I've been really delighted with it. So that's something I wanted to show today. A couple of other things. I've obviously sold my Name 122X preamp and Name 150X power amp. I've also sold some cables as well, because the Name system, the cabling that I was using were DIN connectors, and DIN connectors are not required then for the heat system connected to my rest of my components. So I've managed to raise a few, quite, a bit of money then, and with the sale of my components. But I've had to buy some cables, so yeah, I'll probably do another video then showing the cables that I've actually bought, because I've needed to buy a cable, then an RCA cables which go from the heat to the phono preamp, and also from the Name CD5X, which I still got there as a lovely CD player. So I needed a cables then, RCA cables, to go from the Name CD5X into the back of the heat. Just showing there at the bottom there, I've got the Name flat cap as well, which is the power supply then for the Name 150X CD player. The Name CD5X CD player. So yeah, so I'll do a video showing that. More recently, I also went to a HiFi show. It was the Sound and Vision show in Bristol. I don't go every year. I've been before, so I had the opportunity to go this time. So I'll do a video on that as well. Just explain what I thought of my visit and so forth. It's very interesting day. But yeah, that's where my system is at the moment and what it's looking like. So just thought I'd show this amplifier, and yeah, I'll do another video quite soon. Thank you. Bye bye.